Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. Saints have now practiced twice in the middle of their third practice of training camp, and not a ton of earth-shattering news coming out, as you would expect. Certainly a couple of disappointing injuries. Kendre Miller, Trajan Jeffcoat, a couple of guys who have been limited in what they can do, and we'll kind of see what comes of that. But I thought yesterday the most impactful thing that I read/heard was sound from Demario Davis speaking with the press. And since Demario Davis put on the black and gold, he started with this franchise back in 2018 after he played 6 seasons with the New York Jets. And he's been absolutely brilliant from start to finish. He's been brilliant on the field. He's been brilliant off the field. He's been brilliant in the locker room. He has been, well, I can't suggest the face of the franchise because Drew Brees was there at the beginning of his time and Cam Jordan has been there a little bit longer. He's been a stalwart on the Saints defense and in this Saints franchise since he set foot in New Orleans. And we're going to play 3 clips from yesterday. They're all a little bit longer than the usual sound clips that we play here, but I think they're so impressive to me. And I'll give you my reaction to them afterward, but I don't want to sully the comments by giving you kind of exactly what I think on them before you hear it. I just think as a Saints fan, you'll appreciate hearing some of these things. The first clip from Demario Davis here, and this sound comes from Aaron Summers, is talking about his message to the fans. We understand, even talking to Sharif Ishak, talking to Luke Johnson, even if you are a fan of the Saints down here in South Louisiana as they start training camp, the optimism is not quite where it's been the last 15 years. There's no sugarcoating that. But this was Demario Davis's advice and message to the fans as they start training camp.
We have underperformed. It's like, I think that the message I would give to our fan base is we know we haven't been good enough. We haven't put something on the field that the city should be proud of. And that's why we're here locked in and we're working.
Right.
And so the mindset is we got all the right pieces and it's on us to go and execute. I think we're going to put a team on the field that the city is going to be proud of. What I need the city to understand is we got the right coaches. We got the right pieces. We got the right offense. We got the right quarterback. We got the right defense. And it's on us to go out and execute. And so we take that on us. We have underperformed, all of us, the entire organization. We haven't done what we're supposed to do. But that's why we locked in and we putting the work in so that the results can show. And the only way we're going to get there is if we put the work in and continue to stack the bricks. But I think we got a process that the city would be proud of, and I believe that process is going to give us the results.
That's an incredible message because not everyone comes up to the microphone and says that. And Demario Davis showed up in New Orleans in 2018. That year, the Saints went 13-3. They were the best team in football. The Nola no call happened, and you know that story. But they were the best team in the league. The next year in 2019, the Saints went 13-3 again, and you had that flukish loss to the Vikings. Those were really, really good football teams. Really good football teams. And then in 2020, the COVID year, Drew's last season, the Saints went 12-4 and, lost to Tampa in the playoffs. But his first 3 years, the Saints were 38-10. That is the elite of the elite in the NFL. Demario Davis knows what that looks like. He knows how the city feels when that's going on. And he knows that since Drew Brees walked out of that locker room, that hasn't been the case. And the Saints have tried to rekindle that magic since Drew left, and they haven't done it. You thought, okay, Jameis Winston's going to be the guy. And he wasn't. Thought, okay, Derek Carr is going to come in and elevate the whole franchise, and he didn't. And because of that, and because of the standard that Drew Brees set at that position, the city is soured. You never want to be the guy that follows the guy. And you could say that Jameis Winston was, but he was gone so quickly. That was more of an experiment. Derek Carr was brought in to stabilize this thing, and last year it didn't get stabilized. Now, you can pin as much or as little of that on Derek Carr as you want, But the fact of the matter is that he was brought in to be the franchise quarterback, and the Saints weren't very good last year. And Demario Davis has his guys back. And this audio is from Sharif Ishak from WDSU, who was with us yesterday. And this is what Demario Davis had to say to the city about Derek Carr.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, man, first of all, it's a hard game. And I understand our fan base desire for winning because I've been a part of that winning. And when you get used to winning, the standard is high. It's very high. But you have to understand that a transition happened in our organization, right? Sean Payton leaves, Drew Brees leaves. And so the standard is that they're going to be where they were at the end of their tenure with the Saints, at the beginning. And so I think that's unfair standard. That's the unfair balance. But I've been in the trenches with both of these guys. And when I tell you Derek is the right quarterback, he's the right quarterback. When I tell you DA is the right head coach, he's the right head coach. And I've been here to see the good times and the bad times. So I know, but they're the right men for the job. And that's what my belief is. Our mentality is the Super Bowl is coming to New Orleans. That's our mindset. And when I'm telling you that these are the right men for the job, it's the right men for the job.
That, to me, my guess, is that's going to be the most powerful audio bite that is played in Saints training camp. That's my guess. Demario Davis is the leader of this team. Cam Jordan's been here longer. Cam Jordan is just as distinguished, I think, and both guys likely will have their name in the Saints Hall of Fame. And Derek Carr is the face of the franchise in the sense that he's the quarterback, and that's the most important position. But Demario Davis is the heartbeat of this team. And whether he believes that or not, that Derek Carr is the right quarterback or Dennis Allen's the right coach, he's going to come up there and say that. And he's going to tell all these guys, I mean, he's 35 years old, all these guys below him who don't know as much as he does and haven't been in the league as long as he does and hasn't been, there's not anyone in that locker room, not one guy in that locker room that has been an all-pro 5 straight years. Not a Pro Bowler, not an NFL Player of the Month. He's been an all-pro 5 years in a row. If you can't listen to that guy, then you're not listening to anybody. And that's what he has to say about his guys. I think that's very, very powerful. Now, I personally don't believe Derek Carr is the quarterback to elevate the Saints to the Super Bowl. I don't believe Dennis Allen is the coach that's going to elevate the Saints to Super Bowl contention. That's me analyzing the situation, taking the data, and giving you my opinion, which is my job here from 1 to 3. That's my opinion. But nobody in that locker room can stand what I have to say. They care what Demario Davis has to say. And for him to say that, it's the exact right thing. This goes back to my point that I always make, that I don't really care what is said in a press conference. I don't need a coach to answer for things that happen on the field or recruiting battles or, free agent. Like, I don't need answers in a setting of a press conference. All I need is for the right things to get done. Acquire the right players, if that's professional, in free agency in the draft. If that's in college, go recruit. Game plan, go win games. I don't give a rip what you say in press conferences. Les Miles and Paul Mainieri could not have been more opposite in their approach in a press conference, and they both had very, very similar careers. They won a ton of games, way more than they lost. They won a national championship and competed for another one. They were complete opposites at the podium. Some people like what Paul Mainieri had to say because he told it like it was. Some people liked what Les Miles did because he protected all of his players. Some people didn't like what Paul Mainieri had to say. Oh, he threw guys under the bus. Some people didn't like what Les had to say because he sounded like a lunatic half the time he said it. Doesn't matter to me. Now, if you cross the line and start denigrating people like Michael Thomas does on Twitter and whatnot, yeah, I'll jump in and say, that's wrong. But this is the right thing to say if you're Demario Davis. And I thought it was impressive. The last bite here, I think, is a little bit pie in the sky. But I've talked to guys who have played in the NFL. Jeremy Hill sat right next to me on this show for over a year and said the exact same thing that Demario Davis is about to say. And he played on some really poor Bengals teams. This is what Demario Davis had to say about goals this year and where the Super Bowl is.
Yeah, I don't think I need to build too much talk around that, man. Everybody understands that the Super Bowl is in our home. And that means something. You know, the Super Bowl is in New Orleans, and whether that needs to be a hashtag that the Super Bowl is coming to NOLA, or it's coming to New Orleans, it's getting ready. Whatever that needs to be, where everybody understands that has a meaning to it. The Super Bowl is coming to New Orleans, and that means when you get to the playoffs, you have the opportunity to play every game at home, and so it's a long journey to that point, and a lot of work got to be done. And if that means something to it, if that means something to you, it's gonna show, and it means something to me, and it means something to this team.
Look, I don't know if Clint Kubiak's offense is going to revolutionize the way the Saints score points. I don't know if Cam Jordan's going to revitalize his career and come away with 8 sacks this year. I don't know if Kendre Miller's going to make the team. I don't know if Marshawn Lattimore is going to be here for 2 more years or play throughout this season. There are a lot of things I don't know. I don't know if Trevor Penning can play right tackle. There's a lot I don't know. What I know is that every single day, Demario Davis is going to put on his gear, buckle his chin strap, give every ounce of effort he possibly has, believing that this team can be as good as anybody in football, and that he's going to urge the rest of the guys on that team to do the exact same thing. And that's honestly all you can ask for. He is nearly a perfect embodiment of what you want in a football player and a leader. And he does it on the field with all pro season after all pro season after all pro season. He does it in the community with how much incredible work he has done for the city of New Orleans. And he does it in press conferences as well. I was really, really taken with what Demario Davis had to say yesterday in his press conference. Again, I don't believe some of the things he's saying, but that doesn't matter. It's a message that he's sending through the media to the city and, more importantly, his teammates, and he's looking for a response from that. He's a perfect pre-agent signing as the Saints picked him up. He was 30 years old playing linebacker, and you're going to get 6, 7 all-pro seasons out of him. Crazy. Fantastic stuff from Demario Davis yesterday. I thought it was first class all the way around. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.